You're listening to The Startup with Monique Lore, only on LA Talk Radio.
How's it going, Los Angeles? This is The Startup with Monique Lore. I'm Monique Lore. I'm coming to you live from my car. Today was a field trip for our wine business. I'm out in Temecula networking, and yeah, it's a little late harvest field trip. Shout out to Botaya Winery here in Temecula, California. But I wanted to come on and do a check-in with everyone. Next week is going to be our pre-Thanksgiving show. I'm really excited. We're going to have a couple people that are on in the food and wine industry and some other cool guests. Today we have an author, Audrey Winks, author of At the Millennium, Paradise Crossed. And I'm really excited to get into this book and speak to the author. Beautiful artwork. And a very cool premise. So we'll get into that. Some updates coming up in this holiday season. We have a couple different things. There's a gala coming up in December in Oakland. I will be posting about that. We have some other things we're going to be doing. Excited to make some announcements for the new year. And yeah, it's been an interesting year. I've been having conversations with startup owners and people looking to scale, and a lot of things have been happening for folks, and a lot of things are changing in the landscape of startups, and I'm not unaffected by that. And I realize people want to have conversations about how to move through this moment when it comes to the changing economy and shifting ideas. Maybe you started a business and you thought it would go one way. A lot of e-commerce and AI driven companies are doing really well. And I think that we have to have an honest conversation about that. Like, what does it look like for your business, your startup, to kind of interface with that and really harness that? We have someone coming up very soon that will speak to that. So shout out to Michael Solberg Family Wines, Aegis Formulas, and all of the people that support this channel and our show. Thank you again for always being on. Sam, thank you so much for the highs and the lows that you've seen with my show. And I'm really just grateful for the people that still tune in. Very excited to close out the 6th year on the show here at LA Talk Radio. And I'm excited for the 7th year. That's a very special number, I think, for myself, and just achieving things, doing something consistent. Listen, I don't have the big studio where I do this show. It's very grassroots. It's very showing you how it is in the moment as an entrepreneur, moving and shaking and going with things. I had Wi-Fi issues today. When you first started watching my show years ago, oftentimes I was in my car or in airports. I've settled down a little bit since then, but there will be times and shows that, I'm showing you guys the real thing. And I don't think there's a drawback by that. Of course, having a fancy studio is great, but showing you what it really looks like to hold meetings at a winery and still be on the air and network with brands and sponsors and authors and, do brand placement and producing things in real time. And when you're traveling, sometimes you have to just go with the moment. I always say that. So I want to shout out Juliet Ramos, better known as Unchained Transmissions now. She used to be Broken Girl Unchained. She relaunched her podcast. I'm really excited. She's one of the top 10 mental health podcasts in the world, and she streams on Apple, iHeart. Is she on iHeart yet? I think it's Apple and a lot of the other platforms. But I'm really proud of her for rebranding. We had a conversation about branding and kind of just professing, where you are and where you're going in your brand. And maybe the last things aren't going to serve you in the future. Like where you started isn't going to speak to where you're going. And we had that conversation, and she rebranded. So congratulations for Unchained Transmissions. Special shout out to Sean Antonio. He's life coaching and doing all the great things, all the great work. He's been a partner. I've known him since our blind date and fifth wheel days. He's doing a lot of great things. Special shout out to my partner, Jackie Pittman, and all the other people that are partnered in the films. We have the pandemic film trailer coming out around New Year's Eve. We also have been working on the Jada project. That first 30-minute installation will be coming out during the holidays as well. So we'll close the year out with those two things from the film space in my world. Also, this podcast, Sam and I have been talking offline about maybe doing this show more days of the week, a different day of the week. So it's usually Sundays at 4, as you guys know, but we're looking at it. So why don't you drop in the chat if you guys want to see me on a different day of the week. I always look at Sunday as the first day of the new week, but I know it's also the weekend for folks. So we're open to making some changes in the 7th year coming up. Also, some Sundance Film Festival week events and announcements will be coming soon. The last 3 or 4 years, I've spent my birthday and networked for the Pandemic Project documentary, The Pandemic Film and the Endemic Project. And that will be our last year doing that in Park City. As you know, Robert Redford has passed away this year. And so a special shout out for something that he created and did that's lasted all these years and helped so many filmmakers get on the map. So I think the next year's going to be on the 2027 is going to be in Denver, if I'm not mistaken. So, we're going to be doing something out there again, probably a live show. But yeah, I wanted to feature this author today, Audrey Winks, and also a special shout out while we're waiting to Joy Paris from Rich Girl Network, TV networks. Thank you for inviting me to help supplement the swag bags for this gala that really helped transplant recipients for the Mendez Foundation. Thank you so much for letting us come. It was a beautiful evening. And I also want to encourage you guys to go on our sponsor's website, Michael Solberg Family Wines. Shout out to Leah Solberg, who's the owner of Michael Solberg Family Wines. Her father started it back in the 80s, and she's now the CEO and running that show. And she's got 4 varietals that are really great. And her slogan is always that her wine pairs well with a wine glass. So this holiday season, if you're looking to gift the perfect wine that goes with any wine glass, Michael Solberg Family Wines for your wine needs. Okay, so just go to michaelsolbergfamilywines.com. They have varietals such as Merlot. I think about Pinot grapes a lot because of Sideways. That's another story. One of my favorite grapes. But Merlot, Cab Sauv, Chardonnay, and Rosé. And they also have a red blend that they're working on. So for this holiday, michaelsolbergfamilywines.com. Okay? So let's tee it up. At the Millennium Paradise Crossed by T. Audrey Winks. Okay? Very interesting cover. And I love it. Look at, we're getting messages already. I'm very excited to crack this open and really get behind the scenes with the author of this book. Beautiful artwork, a very interesting subject matter. And I want to find out how this author got this done. I mean, it's a very big book. It's beautiful. I'm very grateful to have it in my collection. I started to read some of the the foreword, the preface. It's kind of just getting an idea of what this book is about. So we feature authors here all the time, and it really doesn't matter, what subject it is. I'm very interested in the author's process. I've been working on a couple books for many years, and I get stuck sometimes. So hearing from authors that are successfully published and actually getting out there and doing it, I'm always interested to see what their process is, their motivation, and their muses, like who inspired them and what things in life happened that got them where they were in the writing process. So these are things we discuss here on the Startup. Also, I want to also let you guys know that a few months from now, in the spring, in March, we'll be doing the Oscars Week Celebrity Gifting Suite with Heather Mariana's group. So very excited to be invited back. Thank you to everyone that showed up, all the brands that were part of it this year for Emmys Week. It was successful. It was fun. And we had some really great brands that were there. All right. If you guys aren't following, please start following us on Instagram. We're on Twitter, X, and Facebook at The Startup with Monique Lore. And I'm just seeing if we're going to have our authors sign in. Hopefully they're coming in soon. Sometimes these Wi-Fi connections are rough. Again, if you want to follow me personally, I'm on all the platforms at Monique Lore Stinson or at Monique Lore, Lore. And sometimes just at Monique Stinson, depending on the platform. But I'm on everything: TikTok, Twitter, X, Instagram, and Facebook. But I usually, and I'm also, just say TikTok and LinkedIn. I usually move in the Instagram space mostly, so you could find me there. If you are in the wine industry or a wine connoisseur or just interested about wine, you can follow at the Wine Caterers. That's my wine tasting and custom label branch. And I'm partnered with at Michael Solberg Family Wines. And you can follow us there as well. And for our media and swag bag opportunities and placement opportunities at these events, at Cap Aquarius Media. Okay, so it's just CAP Aquarius Media. And of course, you must be following LA Talk Radio. All right, guys, let's get into talking about Thanksgiving, the holidays. What are you interested in getting into over the holidays? I know there's family gatherings and food and travel, but are you setting your intentions for the new year as startups, as entrepreneurs? Now is the time when things start slowing down and you're with family and you have more time to rest and think and recuperate. I like it because I can set my intentions for the new year as an entrepreneur, see what I could have gotten better, what I did right, and how to do it better, and go to the next level. This is the time of year I look at that, right? Q4. So I want to add that to everyone's consciousness and just remind you that now is a really great time to see how you want to form next year. I know that for 2026, I want to be working smarter, not harder, and definitely nurturing the relationships I've had. It's been a trying year for a lot of people. I've heard so many things. I've experienced so many things this year, but we're still standing, we're still moving. And that's kind of the goal of this whole show, is just to give encouragement and to be inspirational, even when it feels like you can't do it, right? So stay encouraged, guys. Do what you can. Again, I've said this many times, but this show was always about being consistent and doing it as good as you can and refining as you go. And sometimes you're doing a show in your car and that happens, but it's always good to be consistent and just look at the bigger picture and keep going. So that's my little pep talk, inspirational. Maybe I'm saying it for myself also. We all need it. So please be following us on social media. We're also restreaming on YouTube under my film channel, which is at Latchkey Kid Films. And you'll see my picture with the Latchkey Kid Film logo around my neck, like a chain. But we have all our shows up into the spring of this year posted now, so we'll be catching up with that. And I want to say a super shout out to Sheila Keller-Bracot, one of my best girlfriends and sisters, just retired from the Los Angeles Fire Department, and she was a fire captain. So you might have seen her during the fires, but a special shout out to her retiring after 25 years of service. So thank you for everything you've done to keep people safe, and what an example of a leader in that genre of business. Okay, so we cover it all here. Well, it looks like maybe our guest didn't make it. So what we want to do is wish them well. Again, T. Audrey Winks at the Millennium Paradise Crossed. Let's see if maybe we can get them on next week or the following. Sometimes these things happen on the weekend, but we are so happy that you tuned in for the Startup Check-In. Also, if you need tax services, if you need business formation consultation, Christina's our Southern Bill badass, Christina Charpentier Biddle. So you guys can find her as Tax Queen on all social media platforms. She's really great. She's a friend. I've known her for over 5 years. She does my taxes. I've referred her to many clients. She really knows how to keep herself educated on tax reform and different write-offs for startups. It gets complicated, right? Like you've got different entities, different subsidiaries and things. And some people start off really simple and it gets complicated. So she keeps herself educated. That's what I really love about her. She's always busy because she's educating and helping her clients get the best they can and manifest the best rebate that they can get and maximize their write-offs. So Christina Charpentier Biddle at the Tax Queen. Okay, so find her and tell her Monique from the startup sent you. So again, everybody, have a really good, safe Sunday. This is just a startup check-in. It looks like our guests probably got tied up, but we're going to have them back very soon. And just another show from my car, right, guys? But what will you start up today? Sam, good to hear from you. And let's get this back for a full show pre-Thanksgiving next week. What will you start up today? This is the Startup, and I'm Monique Lore, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
You're listening to The Startup with Monique Lore, only on LA Talk Radio.